Sicilian defense, open, dragon, Panov variation, 9, Nxd4. Sharp a back and forth game where both players had chances. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. White was a cut above black in the middle game. Sharp games are frequently the result of starting with the king's pawn since it dominates the center and frees up the bishop and queen on the light squares. The c-pawn in the Sicilian defense controls the d4 square. Nf3 moves the knight toward the center in anticipation of a pawn push on d4, where it will be ready to retake the piece if black captures on d4. When black eventually plays nf6, white is prevented from moving the piece to e5 by the opening of the light-squared bishop on d6. d4 offers to trade the d-pawn for the c-pawn, giving up a center pawn for more active pieces. Cxd4 gives black 2 central pawns versus 1 central pawn for white. Nxd4 recaptures the pawn and activates the knight in return for having 1 central pawn versus black's 2 central pawns. Nf6 develops the knight toward the center and attacks the undefended e4 pawn. Nc3 defends the e4 pawn and starts to develop on the queen side. g6 prepares to fianchetto the dark-squared bishop on g7, where it will sit on the long diagonal. b3 supports the strong d4 knight in the center. bg7 puts the bishop on the long diagonal in a move called a fianchetto. It is best. f3 supports the e4 pawn, and prepares to develop the dark-squared bishop to e3 and the queen to d2, a common attacking setup versus fianchetto systems. nc6 develops the knight toward the center, attacks the knight on d4 and controls the e5 square. qd2 develops the queen, defends the bishop on e3 and prepares to castle queenside. Castling gets the king out of the center and activates the rook. g4 takes space on the king side and begins a kingside attack. This is an equal trade. Recaptures. By growing a bishop from its initial square, this activates it. Castling gets the king to a safer square, out of the center of the board, while also developing a rook. Castling to the opposite side of the board as the opponent normally leads to a sharp, attacking game. This connects the rooks, which helps them coordinate together in the future. This protects the attacked pawn. This threatens to reveal an attack on a queen. It is the last book move. This misses a much better move. It is a mistake. That's a decent move. That's good. This loses a chance to imply that winning a pawn is possible. It is incorrect. There was only one good move in that position. It is a miss. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This is the only good move. It is best. This maintains the balance in material with a good trade. It is best. A very strong play. It is excellent. Backs off. It is ideal. It is a fair deal after all captures. That's good. White had an advantage, but now the game is close to equal. It is an inaccuracy. Sharp a back and forth game where both players had chances. That game was pretty competitive. Both players had an amazing opening. White was a cut above black in the middle game.